Hey everybody, Derick Van Ness here, investor, wealth strategist, and life adventurer. And I've got something for you today that you will not hear anywhere else. If you're a real estate investor, you want to get out some pen and paper because I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to have what I consider to be the single most important thing to my real estate investing career. And listen, I flipped 160, 170, I lost track houses as an investor. And I'm telling you right now that what we're going to go over, this one simple trick, can add an additional 6 figures to your bottom line this year if you go out and use it. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about how I learned this, because it's something about how to wholesale deals really, really effectively. And even if you're a rehabber or whatever, this is going to be super valuable, because if you get really good at finding houses, there are often houses that you don't need, right? And so that's what happened to me when I was really actively investing and flipping houses full time and doing all of that. What I found was I could find 2, 3, 4 deals a month and we would be doing them all, but sometimes I'd get a big influx of deals, and with that big influx of deals, I had more houses than I knew what to do with. I didn't want to not buy them, so what I did was I brought them in and then I would wholesale them out. Now, I built a buyer's list because I know everybody out there tells you build a buyer's list first. It's easier if you have a buyer's list. When you find a deal, then you can go to the people, or you know what they're looking for, and that's totally true. Here's the problem, and if you've tried to wholesale real estate, you totally get this, and it's this. You can't tell if somebody's a real buyer or if they're a fake buyer, right? They all pretend, like half of the whole fake it till you make it thing that's going on out there in real estate investing is a lot of people are depending on other people's money, hard money lenders, other investors. They're just trying to put together a deal. So they'll tell you, yeah, we'll buy this. We'll pay you X for it or whatever. You just don't know if they're going to close, right? And so the hardest part, or the most frustrating part from a lot of wholesalers that I work with and talk with, because I have a lot of them as clients, I teach wealth building, is this. They're like, we can find some deals, but then we go to pass them on and they don't end up closing, or we're dealing with the wrong people, or we're getting jerked around or whatever, right? So this was happening to me. I had a buyer's list of like 3,000 people that I had accumulated over a couple of years, and there was a couple of really good buyers on there, but if they didn't want that, the rest was like a crapshoot. And it's hard to let somebody tie up your property that you have tied up for a couple of weeks or whatever, or even 5 to 7 days, and you need somebody who can close now, right? You don't need some guy jerking your chain, and you don't want to get caught in the middle of that. So what I found was, as I started doing these, I was doing rehabs, I was doing owner financing, and I'll do a video on owner financing because I think in the near future is going to be the way to go when properties start getting into some difficult times with this whole downturn that we're going to probably see in the next couple of months. Different video. But, oh, and by the way, if you find what's on this video valuable, please click the like button. It makes a huge difference. If you want to see more real estate investing tips, money tips, financial tips, stuff that's going to actually make a difference, please subscribe. It makes a huge difference. Share this with your network and other people that are out there. Anyway, so here's the key. As you're building your real estate business, what you want to do is you want to make friends with hard money lenders. Now, why hard money lenders? Private money, I actually think for my own deals, is better eventually, right? But here's the key with hard money lenders. They have access to the buyers that are legit. And so what I would do is I would call up my guy. I was flipping houses in Los Angeles at the time, and I'd be like, hey, Joe, I've got this deal, and I think it's worth $300,000. And here's the address. What do you think it's worth? And what do I need to buy it for? Or what would one of your guys buy it for? Or what would you lend on it? And he would say, oh, it's worth 300. We'll lend, 190 on it. And he said, I've got a buyer who I know would pay 190 for that because he's done a couple in the neighborhood and he's paid that much, and so on and so forth. So then I could go out to the house. I could put it under contract and know that I could get $190,000 for that house. If I got 180, I knew I could make 10 grand. If I could buy it for 170, I knew I could make 20 grand, right? And then I would put it under contract, and I could immediately call my hard money lender and say, hey, I've got it under contract. Bring your guy in. They'd bring it in. They could close it because the hard money lender wants the loan, and he knows who the real buyers are. He knows who's working that neighborhood. He knows who can make it happen. So you don't have to deal with all this jerking around of dealing with a bunch of pretenders and naysayers. Now, the truth is, when you work with those kind of buyers, you got to get a good deal, because those kind of buyers don't buy the marginal deals, right? They buy good deals. And I will tell you this, when you go to wholesale stuff, if you can't find buyers or you can't find private money, it's either you're asking too much, because you got to leave money in it for the next guy, right? If you don't leave money in it for them, that's what I see. Like some wholesalers, they have a good deal, but they want to make 25 grand and they're trying to leave 10 grand in for the guy who does all the work. Like, it doesn't really work that way. You've got to switch that around. You've got to make sure that after you get paid, if you are that buyer, the guy you're going to sell it to, would it be profitable for you? And not just like right on the fringe. Try and make it so it's a good deal, because here's the deal. Once you sell a deal to that guy, now you've got a relationship. You know they can close. They know you provide good deals. And now you can get these deals where you don't even need to call your hard money lender. But I'm telling you, in the beginning, hard money lenders know who all the real players are. They know who can deliver, who's got the money, who works certain neighborhoods, what price points. You don't have to figure all that out. You just need to build a relationship with your hard money lender. Call them up when you got a deal, or even when you're looking at a deal. Get their perspective, figure out what you really need to pay, and then go out and make that deal. If you do this, you will cut out 95% of the disappointment of getting jerked around as a wholesaler, because it is a major, major problem if you're putting properties under contract and you can't find anybody to help you close on those, right? So I highly, highly recommend you take that to heart. Start building relationships with a couple of key hard money lenders. See if you can find one that you really jive with, because you need to be able to trust them. You need to have good chemistry with them. But I believe if you implement this, you go out and find deals and you use your hard money lenders to help you place them, it will cut 90% of your work off the top. It'll cut all your stress out. It'll make such a difference in your business. It made it so that wholesaling a deal for me was just like, boom, one phone call, I got a deal, get me a buyer, call me back. They'd call around, they'd find the right guy, call me back. Hey, Derek, I got a buyer for you. Let's do this. We could close in 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever we needed to do. And so that's a vital, vital relationship. So my name's Derick Van Ness. Want to see you live big, see you live a life that you love. Once again, if you're enjoying this video or if you found that content valuable, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, pass it on to people who could benefit from it. Because listen, there's plenty of deals out there. Don't pretend that if you tell somebody else how to find deals that there's not going to be enough. There are new deals that go in the MLS every single day. And if you had found that deal instead of a realtor, you'd be working on it. So have an abundance mindset. Let's all share our ideas. Let's do more to build our community, to make real estate investing more fun and more profitable for everybody. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.